Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
I'd like to start off this episode with a joke that I heard. And here to receive this joke is producer Ari Atkin. Ari, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hello, Trey.
Well, let's dive right in. So there was a Zen master who needed to repair his barbecue pit. He bought 24 bricks, but he only used 23 of them. Not to be a waster, he attempted to sell the remaining brick, but got no takers. Try as he might, he just couldn't get rid of this brick. He started offering to give it away for free, but nobody wanted it. So then eventually he painted it gold and tried to give it away. People didn't believe it was a gold brick, so he just gave up, threw it over his shoulder, and went home. Get it?
I wish I did. I really wish
Oh,
I
you don't
did.
get the... Ah, well. I'll figure it out. And now for the news. Fake news. It's a phrase heard all too often in the media today, being thrown out around all sorts of institutions. This kind of talk is definitely harmful, but I'd like to use the news segment today to discuss a different kind of fake news, the kind that shows up on Facebook feeds masquerading as real news, fooling not only the elderly and feeble-minded, but a good portion of the general public as well. Today I'm going to try my hand at debunking a few of these stories once and for all. Let's begin. The PACER test has not been banned for child cruelty. I've been seeing this one a lot on Instagram with people celebrating the end of a PE institution associated with negative memories of elementary school and peeing in one's gym shorts and then having everyone laugh at them, even their third grade crush, Nikki Chang, who stood in front of the whole crowd and yelled, "Trey peed," and stuff. But alas, even a cursory Google reveals this to be fake news. The story in question was featured on NeoMongoliaNewsNetwork.com, a wannabe Onion site chock full of clumsily satirical stories, and refers to a President Chinkus as the driving force behind the supposed ban. You win this round, Nikki. No, THC was not found on a meteor. This has been around for a while, but has recently resurfaced a bit more on social media. While it's tempting to believe that we're not alone in the universe when it comes to lighting up and throwing a DiGiorno's bacon cheeseburger pizza in the oven on a Thursday night, this is sadly clickbait. Tracing the story through its sources on seemingly more reputable health websites leads the reader to notallowedto.com, where the first ad below the story is a man holding some sort of phallic root and promising that I'll never need Viagra again. Another tempting fantasy. David Rockefeller's heart transplants. And here's one that I'm guilty of propagating, listeners. David Rockefeller, last remaining grandson of legendary oil tycoon John D. Rockefeller, passed away on Monday at the age of 101. Now, it has been reported that David Rockefeller had 7 heart transplants over the course of his life, and I myself spread this story when I read about it. But it's been brought to my attention that this story is, in fact, fake news. Rockefeller lived a full life as a CEO, philanthropist, and towards the end of his life, a worn leather handbag. He's in a better place now, presumably tormenting hobbits with riddles in the dark. This has been fake news. Here's what's bugging me, listeners. Daylight savings time began last week, and I know I'm not alone when I ask the question, why? After being sufficiently dicked over by my alarm clock with the rest of America, except Hawaii and Arizona, the sun-soaked bastards, I did some research. And daylight savings time was enacted in World War I in order to save power from light bulbs to be used more efficiently to build bullets and chlorine gas and presumably MLG montages set to the timeless White Stripes battle anthem Seven Nation Army. Most of my knowledge of World War I comes from Battlefield 1. Anyways, after World War I, the policy was rescinded and it was put back in place by FDR in World War II, and then it was repealed again. But people's clocks were out of sync from the war until about the 60s when Congress decided to put it back in place permanently to stop the confusion. And Congress presumably wasn't able to use the entire power of the federal government to just tell people to fix their fucking clocks, but that's neither here nor there. What is important is that we now are well into the 21st century, and we have telephones in our pockets that tell us stock statistics and celebrity gossip. There's enough pornography on the internet to last until the heat death of the universe, and that number grows every day. We have invisible drones that fly around murdering civilians in other countries, which we get angry about for 30 seconds, then go back to the celebrity gossip and the pornography. My point is, in this golden and slightly sticky age of technological miracles, what possible case could be made to keep daylight savings time in effect? I personally prefer later sunrises and sunsets, as it gives me more daylight hours in which to engage in teenage hooliganism and fraternization, so let's just pick a time and stick to it. All it takes is an exemption from the Department of Transportation, so we're all set. And so I say, California, lead the charge. If Arizona can do it, then by God, so can we. And soon, because I need to go to sleep so bad. That's what's bugging me. From Soda Tech to RuPaul's Drag Race, Ron McCan's career has been well documented by students going, whoa, really? Why does MT get cool stuff all of a sudden? Ron McCan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris.
So, as a Soda alum, how do you think this school has shaped your career?
Without this school, I wouldn't have a career because this is where I got my start. It was Soda that really pushed me to believe that I could create, and it gave me a great foundation to go out there into the world of the arts and do stuff.
So how has your career path differed from what you envisioned when you were just starting out?
It's very, very different. I left Soda saying, okay, I have to... I want to do this art thing, but I have to have a day job. And so I said, I'm going to be a lawyer because I like to argue. And I went into political science, and I had a big career in community advocacy and ended up working for the mayor's office, doing some policy work. And I said, you know what? This is soulless. And I felt that the best way for me to create change was to use my art and to get back in it. So I started doing more theater. And now I'm here. It's kind of like high school purgatory.
What is it like to teach at your own high school, and what does that change in dynamic feel like from student to teacher?
It's very different. The names have changed, but the roles are still the same. You know, like there's a type, and I'm not going to tell you what type you are, but there was definitely a you in my class, It's weird. It's kind of surreal because I want to jump in sometimes. I see these situations happening and I'm like, I know how to solve that problem, but I don't because that's not helping you guys. So it's a little surreal, especially with Mr. Reign still here because he was my teacher and he's still my teacher. There's no escaping the Reign. Ever.
As an educator.
You might think you're going to escape him, but you're never going to escape him. Did I say ever? Okay.
In today's political climate, what do you see as the next great issue for artists to take on?
The president. I think you got to take on the president. I think everything must be relevant to the presidency because that's where the problem lies. And I mean, the president, 45, if you will, is appointing all of these people that don't know jack about anything. You've got our new Secretary of Education who is making all of these decisions about what public schools should be and how we should be educating you. And it's scary. And so I think we have to say this very carefully. We have to work on ways of making sure that we are lobbying for the things that we need. And one of those things might be finding a new president. So, yeah. And then I think we can take on lots of different issues, like things that are happening in our communities. You know, the violence in our communities is huge, and we need to. I would like to see something come out of the Black Lives Matter movement. I think that there's a really interesting storyline there in terms of musical theater, and I think that would be pretty dope to have Lin-Manuel write another musical using hip hop. Or you writing a hip-hop musical.
Yes, here we go. Yo, 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 gotta let you know about this hero named Cyrano. Got a long nose, got a long sword, cutting up fools when he gets bored.
That has nothing to do with the community and the Black
I know,
Lives
it's
Matter
the only
movement.
rap I've ever written.
Wow.
Yo, 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 gotta let you know about the Black Lives Matter movement and their advocacy work.
So we're going to work on that.
You've said before that you're an advocate for the youth voice. Can you expand on that? And what's the significance of young people speaking up for themselves?
So this I can answer. The big problem that I have is when adults get in front of young folks and say, you guys are the future. That's crap to me. I think that you guys are the right now. And youth have been at the forefront of all major movements in history. And so I think that we have to be encouraging. We must encourage you to do the work now, to get out there and make your voices heard and be loud about things, because you guys are the next voters. But there are things that you can do right now. You could encourage people to vote. You could use your art and your craft to inspire others. You can, through different organizations like the San Francisco Youth Commission and the Student Advisory Council, you guys can get out there and inspire policy and legislation. There's a ton that you guys can do. So it really bugs me when people are like, "Oh, you guys will, the world is yours, but you have to wait till you're 18." No, the world is yours now. So I think that it's an amazing time to be alive, and it's an amazing time to be an artist and to create things, because you can have real impact. And I talked about that a lot during our production of Into the Woods, about how Into the Woods was a lot about community responsibility and the role of the role that people play in this sort of chain reaction that is our life, and that is the current political climate. I think that you guys are responsible for it now, and it's time for you to, because by the time you're my age or older, it's too late. We're kind of bitter and jaded and set in our ways. But you guys have a lot of fresh ideas that can really stir some ish up, if you will.
So what advice do you have for young people about advocating for themselves and then getting out into an industry for the first time?
Well, to advocate for yourselves, be loud. Get up and participate in this is me about to lose my job. Get up and participate in the walkouts. Get up and use your social media for good. Tweet things, make videos, start conversations on Facebook.
Make podcasts.
This could be a huge platform, because while you're doing this for your immediate community, all it takes is one person to share it with someone outside of the community, and that person shares it with someone else, and the chain reaction again, right? So I think that there's a lot that you can do right now, but social media is something that is relatively new, within the last 25 years. And it's something that we didn't have access to when I was here. Social media was either gossiping in the bathroom or passing a note. But the idea that you guys have these devices at your fingertips, and you can instantly, like in 145 characters or less, put your view out there and start a conversation, I think is amazing. And the same thing for your art. This podcast is artistic in a matter of speaking. You could, there's just a lot that you can do with social media, and so you can be very creative.
Well, that's about the end of our time. Just wrapping up, what's the spring musical next year?
Yeah, nice trick question.
Every time. Ron McCan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
In order to bring an element of class to the show, listeners, I'm going to be debuting a new segment this week entitled Into the Arts, where we discuss poetry, literature, and all things artistic. Welcome to Into the Arts. On our first installment of Into the Arts, listeners, I'm going to be dissecting Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken. I'm going to begin now with a nice, gentle reading. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you going to?
How?
Are you going to?
I went to a different building this time.
Are you going to?
No. Yes, I'm going. Get out.
You're going to?
You're not going to.
Well, I have the poem right here.
You don't have. Why did you prepare for this?
So,
ladies and gentlemen, Cole Harris dissecting Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken.
I let you have the privilege of introducing me this time. I'm not going to let it happen again. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and I'm sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down on as far as I could.
Pull your weight. Dissect that? How was it? Tell me about
amazing.
poetry.
I think poetry is great.
That's some real hard-hitting analysis there. What about his use of diction and tone?
The diction is really good.
God damn it! I was trying to make a nice
who's
segment.
Who's the poet?
Frost.
No, me.
You?
You want to hear my poetry?
I do not want to hear your poetry.
Listeners,
Don't hijack this.
I will hijack this. I have a website.
Is this where you came in to plug the JFK thing?
I have a website. It's called an ode to JFK.com.
God damn it!
It's spelled wrong, so just look. It's in my Instagram bio. Okay.
Just Cole Harris with an ode to JFK. Just go.
There once was a fella named John who thought whites and blacks should get on. So he spoke to Doc King about that race thing.
No.
And then he was capped on the Texas front lawn.
Jesus Christ.
I liked it.
Just
Shut up, Nico.
second stanza of the Frost, please. Just
second stanza.
finish this.
Here, wait, let me find it. Oh, it's on my phone somewhere. Armored Pegasus, 1 and a white for a 1/2 flyer. Right, I think it's a fairly good card, but the flavor text is the really important part, right?
No.
I always charge a little extra to take on a Pegasus. They fly like eagles, kick like mules, and hide like hermits.
This is just a Magic the Gathering card.
That's Tally and Doll Bounty Hunter.
What happened to the Frost?
DiGiorno and bacon and cheese stuffed crust frozen pizza is the best. How do we know? Each pizza is made only with the best stuff, without any artificial flavors.
Where are you reading
We
this
started
from?
by stuffing our crust with applewood, smoked bacon and cheese, and then
What?
top our pizzas using signature
Is this the
sauce
DiGiorno website?
made from scratch using California vine-ripped tomatoes.
We ate that this weekend.
Next,
It made us both sick.
we layered on a mouth-watering toppings, 100% real cheese. The result? The undeniably delicious taste of DiGiorno.
Give me that.
In all
Get out of my... Ow.
Don't
Ow.
fucking-
Ow. Whoa. No. What? Ay. Stop it. I'm trying to... Poetry. Hey. Ah. Stop. I'm coming. There we go. Oh my God. 3:15 p.m., March 21st. A normal day at a normal high school when suddenly, out of nowhere, alarms blared. And not for the first time. A random unannounced fire drill, as had become the norm at Soda, hit in the middle of the afternoon. Students flooded to the field to see what was the matter, with their teachers surrounding them, trying to keep the peace. We went down there to see what was going on. We're here on the scene of another classic Soda fire drill, seemingly the 4th this month, if my estimate is correct. We're here to get the scoop on what is so just particularly causing these drills. Let's go. Vincent Guerra, student athlete and internet personality, what is your position on this sudden fire drill?
It's stupid as fuck.
I've been informed repeatedly that this is a fire drill and thus an inappropriate place to record my podcast. In response, I say journalism never dies. It's important now to keep the free press free. Moving on. Despite their daily routine of arts in the afternoon being disrupted by the fire drill, students at the Ruth Asawa School of the Arts didn't let that stop them from making the art they were dedicated to. Sir, what's your name?
My name is Mark Rowley. No, I'm just kidding. This is Jasper. You know me. Holla at ya.
And what is your reaction to interruptions like this throughout the day?
We learn more when there's a fire drill than we do from real teachers. Public education is. We need to privatize the school industry. Public schools are destroying black youth. We need to privatize the school industry. Let the poor starve. Let the children die. Let the children smoke, I say.
And so a controversial opinion from members in the crowd. Moving on. Art continues to abound even in this darkest of hours. Take a listen, if you can, to the pounding of the drums and see if it matches the beating of your heart or whatever lame misquote that one is. Truly dedicated artistes. And just like that, it's over. Students, having been given the all clear, trudge back to their classrooms. The memory of this interruption already fading. That's about the end of our show, listeners. But before we go, I have another joke. And once again, to receive it is our producer, Ari Atkin. Ari, welcome back.
Thank you.
What'd you think of the first joke?
Unfortunately I didn't get it.
Well,
I'm not sure if you're messing
You don't
with me.
get that it's funny?
You know what?
Okay, hang on. Okay, there was this plane flying from New York to L.A., right? Now, this on one seat was a man smoking this disgusting, smelly cigar, and the other one was a woman with a yappy dog. Now, he's yelling at her to put the dog away, and she yells at him to put the cigar out, and they just go back and forth until eventually the stewardess gets so sick of them yelling that she just takes the cigar and the dog and chucks them both out the window. And when they land, he looks out the window, and he sees just the dog is holding on to the side of the wing. And what does he have in his mouth?
The cigar?
The gold brick.
Oh, God damn it.
That's our show for this week, listeners. Tune in next time when hopefully we've got our recording schedule figured out and we'll have it to you consistently. That's all, folks.
The world's gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming, don't stop coming. Back to the rules, let's hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun when your brain gets smart, but yeah, gets done. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back street? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. And now you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey, now you're an all-star. Get your game on, get paid. And all that glitters gold, only shooting stars make the mold. It's a cool place and the say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, but wait till you're older. But the media men beg to differ, judging by the hole in that satellite picture. The ice we skate is getting pretty thin. The water's warm, so you might as well swim.